Losing weight during the holidays can feel impossible. You walk into a holiday gathering and you tell yourself, okay, this year I'm going to stay in control or I'm going to be good. But then what happens? Well, you see the spreads, you see all the desserts, the appetizers, the drinks, and then suddenly it feels like everything is pulling you towards overeating. And if this has happened to you, I can guarantee you are absolutely not alone. And you're also not broken because the holiday environment is designed to overwhelm you. By definition, it's supposed to be extra. Here's the good news. You can actually enjoy holiday meals without overeating, without dieting, and without feeling like you're missing out, even if you've always struggled before. Because there are a few simple strategies that you can definitely apply and are going to make this way easier for you. Hi, I'm Dr. Anna. I'm your med diet doc, and I've helped thousands of people online lose weight naturally and keep it off. And I also do this work every single day in my clinical practice as a medical doctor. Now, today's 5 tips I'm going to show you how you can think about reducing your calories at the holidays without feeling deprived. Yes, it is possible. If you're ready, let's dive right in. So, thinking about the holidays, oh my goodness, for most people, this is a time of excitement and a lot of fear because the holidays can be so sneaky for us if we're trying to lose weight. Between all the high-calorie cooking methods and the heavy sauces and the fried appetizers, the sugary drinks, not to mention the desserts. And then there's that emotional component that leads a lot of us to do emotional eating, plus pressure from family or friends. So, I made this thing, you gotta try it. It's just a lot. It's a lot all at once. So it's no wonder that people take in thousands of extra calories at the holidays without even realizing it. But of course, holiday eating isn't just about the food. It's all the emotions, the memories, the family traditions, the pressure, the nostalgia, for some, the stress, and of course, the celebration. And deep down, a lot of people have classic fears. These are typical things you may have been thinking yourself, which is, once I start eating, I just won't stop, or I can't stop, or I don't want to be rude, I have to try this. Aunt Sandy made it, or it's the holidays, I should just enjoy myself, or I can't deal with this is too overwhelming, I'm going to deal with my body in January. If that's you, keep listening, because these fears often lead us to mindlessly overeat. Not because we necessarily want to, but because the moments just carry us away. And it's classic and it's human. So today's tips are going to help you really stay grounded through all of this. Now, if you want a deeper dive into step-by-step Mediterranean weight loss approaches, I'm going to be teaching a free live webinar soon. And there's a link below this video where you can register. The spots are limited and it's totally free. I'm going to be teaching this class right here on YouTube and I would love to see you there. All right, let's dive into our 5 tips. So tip number 1 is to prioritize protein at your meals. This is actually one of the simplest, most powerful ways to reduce calorie intake overall without even trying. Here's how this works. So different of our macronutrients or categories of nutrients have different calorie components, and protein has what we consider 4 calories per gram of the food in it, and it's similar to carbohydrates. And this is in contrast to our fats, which are more calorie dense. There are 9 calories per gram. And actually, alcohol has 7 calories per gram. Most people don't know that. So the thing is, protein is on the lower end of the calorie spectrum when it comes to the types of foods we eat. But it actually helps us stay full longer because it affects our metabolism and our digestive process in a unique way. It helps us stabilize our blood sugar. It slows down the digestive process itself. And it helps prevent that holiday binge feeling or that feeling of eating and needing to eat more but not really getting full. Protein helps us get full. So you can always ask yourself, if you're at a big holiday gathering or a big holiday meal, sit down and look around, especially if it's like either buffet style or family style where there's things just floating all around. Ask yourself, where's the protein? Where's my protein? So examples, depending on what kind of a dietary approach you follow, if you eat meat, this is going to be this turkey or the chicken or the fish, or sometimes for some folks, it's even red meat, depending on which holiday we're talking about. Often there are extra side dishes too, things like beans or lentils or eggs. So if you start your meal with protein and you prioritize it as the center of your plate, well, you're naturally going to end up eating fewer calories overall, potentially, because it helps your body recognize what to do with the calories well. It'll stabilize that blood sugar, control your appetite overall, helps you reduce your cravings from reaching for all that high calorie stuff. And think about it. If you just ate meat, you're not nearly as hungry as if you just ate a piece of potato. So this is actually metabolically not equivalent. Not all calories are the same. They affect our hormones differently. And this one habit alone could save you hundreds of calories across your whole meal. Think about that. All right, then tip number 2 is to choose lighter cooking methods. So, of course, the holidays provide us with specialty dishes that we wouldn't necessarily eat at other times of the year. Yet, not all are created equal. So, this is actually where people accidentally consume thousands of extra calories without realizing it. Different cooking methods themselves can actually be the game changer in your meal in terms of total calorie load. What am I talking about? So, the fried foods are calorie bombs. The baked goods, they have sugar, butter, flour, all in combination is a huge calorie load. How about those creamy casseroles, like a corn casserole, for example? Sounds like it's a vegetable, right? Deceptively heavy. But when you choose things that are grilled, roasted, steamed, boiled, sautéed, well, your plate becomes instantly lighter. Yet it's still really delicious. So you don't necessarily have to give up the actual foods that you enjoy if you balance out how much of it is that like heavy, dense cooking or baking method and how much of it is a little bit lighter, because both are going to be enjoyable and both are going to be flavorful, but they're not going to come with the same number of calories. So you'd simply be choosing the methods that are not overloading your body all at once. Now, we're ready for tip or strategy number 3. So I call this the pie story. So this is the most important emotional tip of all, and it's the one almost nobody talks about. Yeah, you don't really need to eat just because other people around you are eating, believe it or not. No, it's not rude for you to take care of yourself. So let me tell you a quick story from when I was younger. So in my family, we used to have 2 Thanksgivings, not on the same day, but we would do one on the traditional Thursday with one half of my family, and then one on the day after, on Friday, with the other half. And so every Thanksgiving, I used to always freeze up at dessert. There were always like 5 or 6 different types of desserts: pies, cakes, chocolate torts, etc. And there would be the pumpkin pie and the pecan pie and the apple pie, or maybe sometimes we had special ones like coconut cream or lemon meringue. I just could never decide. And so what I used to do is just take a slice of every single one, not because I was hungry, not because I wanted them all in the same way. I always knew which one I liked the most, which for me is pumpkin. But everybody else was kind of doing this, and I also wanted to make the most of the holidays. I didn't want to miss out. Some of you are probably familiar with that term FOMO, or fear of missing out, and I absolutely experience this when it comes to food. And so to make things even more intense, don't forget, my family would do 2 Thanksgivings. So I would basically have this happen to me on Thursday, and I would do a repeat episode on Friday. Now, the challenge is, it wasn't until I got older that I started to realize, well, there's no reason that I need to cram in all the fun at once. Meaning, I don't actually have to eat all the desserts on each day. I could even space it out, or I could just pick which one I wanted that time. So I started to realize, like, okay, I would try certain of them on the Thursday and different ones on the Friday, for example. I would space it out, and I still got to experience everything. I just didn't have to do it all at once. And this one shift made the holidays for me feel way lighter, way calmer, and like I was in so much more control. Plus, I actually enjoyed it more because I didn't feel guilty and frustrated and uncomfortable afterwards. So think about the way your holidays are set up, whether we're talking about Thanksgiving or a different holiday. Everybody's family has different traditions. And so you can figure out the strategy that kind of spaces out your enjoyment so you're not overdoing it all at once. And your body can really thank you for this. So, quick reminder, if you want to learn Mediterranean methods that help support weight loss without restrictive dieting and suffering, I'll be teaching a free live webinar soon right here on YouTube. You can register at the link below this video. I would love to see you there. Don't forget to grab your seat before they're all taken. So, let's keep going. The next tip number 4, is to stay hydrated. So, here's actually something few people realize. The body can often confuse the sensation of hunger and thirst. This happens all the time. During the holidays, what's the classic situation? We're busy, we're traveling, we're distracted, there's tons of snacks everywhere, we're stressed out, we're seeing some family members maybe that are not so easy to talk to, and overall, we forget to drink water. So we end up eating even if our body's actually thirsty. And then what types of drinks are we typically reaching for? Well, it's alcohol and sugary beverages. Those things are not going to hydrate your body the way classic water will. So hydration is key always, but it's especially key if we're adding on top of it all this sugar, all this alcohol, all this extra stuff, all the salt. Now, here's the thing. Staying hydrated can absolutely help us reduce our cravings. It can also prevent that feeling of like, why am I still hungry after the meals? And it can keep us grounded. Now, simple water is often enough for folks. And I hear this all the time because, yes, I'm a medical doctor. I see patients and they tell me I don't like water. I never drink it. I drink soda, juice, etc. However, you can get hydration in your body, great. But ideally, it's without carrying a lot of extra sugar. So pay attention to how much sugar is in your beverage of choice. You can absolutely get enough hydration from things like teas, from sparkling water, etc. So if you refuse to drink plain water, that's fine. Just look at how much other stuff is in your beverages. Don't forget, the water and hydration is like freedom. It's calorie free and it can make you feel amazing. Plus, if you get headaches, for example, something to consider is, are you actually dehydrated? Okay, now we're ready for the last tip here. This is the sauces. We have to talk about all the extra fixins that come with holiday meals because when it comes to thinking about the total calories we're taking in, this is where people can get wrecked. So this tip is single-handedly can save you hundreds if not thousands of calories. What am I talking about? Well, it's all the sauces and the gravies that are like calorie landmines. Those creamy sauces and dressings, buttery glazes, the thick gravy, cheesy drizzles and cheese toppings, sweet marinades, you name it. All of these take our normal meal and yes, make it special, but can literally turn it into a calorie bomb without you noticing. So if you're somebody who's trying to target weight loss in your life, here's the strategy. Ask for the sauce on the side. You can even dip your fork into the sauce rather than pouring it on your food. And then with your fork dipped in the sauce, take your bite so you can get the flavor without having too much. Or you can even skip the sauce entirely if the dish already tastes good. So consider trying the meat without the gravy and see if you still like it. You might have a totally insightful experience from doing that. And this way, you still enjoy all the flavors of your holiday meal, but you're not drowning in excess calories. It's really simple, this is really easy, and it's incredibly effective. Now, if you've made it to this point in the video, I have one more bonus tip for you. So if you're trying to cut calories at the holidays, of course, we want to think about the intake, but there's all of the output that counts as well. So the last tip is don't forget about walking. Walking is one of the easiest strategies you can take around big meals to help your body handle the calorie load. This is like your holiday superpower. So think about walking before or after or both during big holiday meals because it will help you overall burn calories, lower your blood sugar, regulate your insulin, and reduce inflammation, improve your digestion, reduce your cravings. You might get a boost in your energy or more stable energy. Plus, it may prevent that really heavy, foggy, or just heavy in your body holiday feeling after a big meal. And this is especially key if you're having a meal later in the day and you don't really want to go to bed super full. Walking itself is going to aid the digestive process to help your body handle the food and process the food better. So it might make things way more comfortable for you by the time you go lay down. Even 10 minutes can make a huge difference. Again, everything you do counts. So if you don't have time or it's cold outside, depending on where you live, grab a hat, grab a really great coat, but try to do something is better than nothing. Because this is really the Mediterranean secret of them all. Movement that is woven into daily life without thinking about it. Again, we're not talking about hitting the gym or going really hard or trying to squeeze in a workout. We're talking about just getting movement. It's a natural part of our body's rhythm. We should be moving as much as possible. So you got to this point in the video, you started to see how these 6 easy and really realistic ways are to cut calories and how they can be implemented for your holiday meals. This doesn't require you to do serious dieting and restriction and giving up all your favorite foods. You can still enjoy. You're not on a diet to deprive yourself. Ideally, you're trying to lock into strategies that are going to make weight loss a part of your life. And again, if you want a deeper understanding of this and you like this kind of material, you are going to want to be at my free live webinar class that I'm teaching very soon, all about Mediterranean style strategies for weight loss that is sustainable. There's a link below this video, so don't forget to register your seat. And if you're ready to keep going right into the next tips that you can have to maintain weight loss and eating healthier and living more balanced without depriving yourself, well, you're going to love my other videos on this channel, all about the Mediterranean lifestyle, weight loss, and more. Jump into that video. I'll see you over there.